In the isolated jungles of Western Africa lies an animal that for the longest time was left in the back end of our knowledge. But recently, thanks to the internet, they are now quite well known. This is thanks mostly to...
Hi guys, this is the Bangkok.
That is right. On episode 116 of the Planet Zoo Experience, we will be discussing the Pygmy Hippo. Now, unfortunately, this will be a little bit of a rehash of the original Hippo video I made in August of 2025, but hey, they both have enough to warrant their own individual videos. Starting with the history, the animals we know as hippos are actually quite unique. As a matter of fact, they are so unique that none of their closest relatives are even land-dwelling. The Hippopotamidae's closest relatives are actually cetaceans. If you aren't familiar, these are the whales, dolphins, and porpoises of the world. They split off from their aquatic family 52 million years ago and have had their feet on either side of the shore ever since. Now, since most people see the hippo as a monster of an animal, and whales are the biggest animal to have ever lived, it is understandable if you thought they had always been like that. But no. As a matter of fact, the hippo used to be a relatively small animal, and the Pygmy hippo is actually more alike to their ancestors than the Nightmare of the Nile. That massive monster split 21 million years ago. Now, while they may appear similar, the two hippo species are actually fairly different. To start, the average Nile hippo can weigh 3,000 to 3,200 pounds. The Pygmy maxes out at 600. That is a 530% size difference. But size isn't everything, as they have different personalities. Nile hippos are well known to be hyper-aggressive and territorial in nature. As a matter of fact, some zoologic circles have the idea of classifying them as omnivorous on the table. But not the Pygmy. They are very shy and reclusive. They also prefer the night over the dusk and dawn of their larger relatives. They also don't really swim nearly as much. While they do enjoy the water, they don't spend as much time submerged or thriving in it like their large cousins. Now, one of their biggest similarities, other than the obvious, is their natural sunscreen. Both hippo species sweat a reddish, oily substance known as hipposudoric acid that, as I stated, works as a sunblock and an insect repellent. Now, because of them only really being known by Western scientists since 1843 and being such a reclusive animal, we don't really have much in the way of cultural influence. As a matter of fact, for a long time, scientists didn't even know it was a hippo. Skull specimens and fleeting glimpses were often mistaken as wild hogs. Though, there is a little bit to go over. Firstly, in the native areas of Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and the Ivory Coast, they were often nicknamed the water cow. And in some folk tales, these water cows carried shining diamonds in their mouths, essentially to be used as flashlights for their trips in the night. In theory, if you were a skilled enough hunter, you could capture a Pygmy hippo and take the diamond for yourself. In more modern culture, we are sorely lacking. The two main points of culture both take place in the 20s, but two very different 20s. Firstly, it was noted that the founder of Firestone Tires, Harvey Firestone, gifted Billy the Pygmy Hippo to President Calvin Coolidge in 1927. Now, if you're curious as to how the founder of a tire company got a hold of an extremely rare animal from West Africa, I recommend looking into the early days of the rubber industry and preparing to cry. Now, before I end up getting sidetracked talking about King Leopold II, the worst man you've never heard of, let's get into the second point of interest. In 2024, the internet was introduced to the adorable baby Pygmy hippo, Moodang, which translates to bouncy pork, by the way. This internet icon from the Khao Khao Zoo, I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly, in Thailand, would become such an icon, her fame alone boosted the attendance at the zoo dramatically and pretty much made the Pygmy hippo significantly more well known by most people. Now, unfortunately, there is one other difference between the two hippos I forgot to mention. This is how endangered the pygmy hippo is. Due to habitat destruction from agriculture and those previously spoken of rubber farms, and the desertification of the area, the population has severely dropped, with population standing at under 3,000 today. Unfortunately, there's not much that can be done to help this, as desertification seems to be continuing throughout an area known as the Sahel, which is where the Sahara meets the Congo, as it is continuously moving southward, as is the spread of the Sahara Desert. There are attempts to fix this issue, but not many success stories. So, there is a good chance we may see the end of the small hippos. And as much as I hate to leave it off on a negative note, that is all I have for today. So, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. If there's anything you would like to add, feel free to do so in the comments. And until next time, go outside, touch grass, hug your loved ones, drink water, and bye-bye.